house this local park, or here's a fun workout. Maybe you don't like running, but you enjoy weightlifting, so I would recommend you do this circuit. So we all know that exercise is helpful, but sometimes just a little extra nudge and an example of something specifically a person should do can be very helpful.
Do you think it is important for doctors to influence others?
I think it is. As a physician, you have a very critical relationship with your patients, and you do have a lot of influence in that position, whether you like it or not. So I think if you don't believe you have an influence on your patients, you're just setting a bad example, because the patients are going to think you're not interested in them or you're not connected to them. So yes, I do believe doctors have a strong influence, and this is what can have a critical impact on the communities around us.
Can you describe your experience in Philmont?
It was a 12-day hiking experience in the plains and mountains of New Mexico. Philmont is a small, not small, it's a very large location about the size of Rhode Island in New Mexico, and there are some of the most beautiful sights I've seen there. There's the Tooth of Time, which is this beautiful white mountain that basically pokes out of the plains of New Mexico. It was a very fun experience. I was very close with the people that I went with, and it was a small crew of people. We each had different responsibilities. My brother and I were the cooks of the trip. We had a chaplain's aide who led us in prayer before every meal. We had a leader, a crew navigator. So we prepared a lot for the trip, but it was definitely well worth it. My friends and I, it was about 4 years ago, but my friends and I still talk about the memories we've had and the people, sights, and things we've experienced. So overall, it was a wonderful experience and definitely the pinnacle of my scouting experience.
Would you recommend other people go there? Like who are not in Boy Scouts?
I'm not exactly sure. You definitely can go there. It might be a little different than my experience, maybe a different trail, but honestly, the views there are amazing. It's almost like you're in a postcard or a picture. So yes, I would definitely recommend people around there to go there. And also the town, Cimarron, I believe, that it's near is also a very chill, relaxed town. Everyone there is very nice and very connected to the outdoors and very kind of like naturalist in that sense. So yeah, I would recommend people, even if you're not a Boy Scout, to go hiking there if you're within that location.
People who are not within the location, would you still tell them to go there?
If they had the resources and time to, I would. But also another point people need to understand is that hiking or exercising, any form of this physical conditioning, if you're not located next to a gym or you're not located next to the Appalachian Mountains or the Rocky Mountains, that doesn't mean that you can't do these activities. Even just a simple walk outside, even if it's in your suburban neighborhood or maybe near a local park, if that's what you can do, that's what you should do. If you're not next to the YMCA or a local gym, or you don't have enough money for a membership, just start by doing a few push-ups or sit-ups in your room. People always think about like the extremes, like hiking a mountain or working out at a very nice gym, but really just small, simple things like the things I mentioned over time, compounded, have a very, very strong impact on people's lives.
Okay, and last question. How long was the trail that you did?
Well, every troop gets to choose what kind of trail, what kind of areas they want to go through. My troop chose to do one of the longer, more intense trails. It was supposed to be around 110 miles in total, but our crew navigator kind of let us off track at certain points, so we ended up adding a couple more mileages to it, so it ended up being more like 112 miles of hiking.
So, pressure is on. All right, so how long were you a park ranger?
2 summer seasons.
Okay. Where were you a park ranger?
Liberty State Park, Island Beach State Park, and Sandy Hook National Park.
Okay. Why were you a park ranger?
because I love being outdoors and teaching environmental education.
Okay. What types of people would you see on the trails?
All types.
Can you give some examples? I don't know. If you can.
Families with their kids that don't know anything about nature that stepped out for the first time to go into nature. So they were scared of everything they saw. Professionals that knew more than I did. And all ranges in between. High school groups, middle school groups.
Okay. How often do you feel people should be outside and have some form of exercise?
Every moment.
Every moment.
I mean, we're going to take your classes outside probably next week already because it's nice out.
Okay. Anything else? Okay. How important do you think exercise is to the human mind or mental health?
It's very important. I mean, I go to the gym 5 times a week. I think everybody should be interacting and doing some physical activity. I mean, it's good for your bones. You learn that in anthropology. So exercise helps keep you healthy.
Okay. How important is exercise in your everyday life?
I work out at least 5 days a week.
I know, that's
so
why
it's
I'm asking.
super important.
I'm asking, that's what I do.
It's super important. Especially as you get older. It's even more important to stay healthy.
Okay, and then the last one is, how do you think doctors or others should influence their community to go outside for a hike or a form of exercise?
They can have clinics where you meet with other people that have the same symptoms. If they're in like support groups together that the doctor runs, then they can then go out and be part of it so they don't feel alone, and they can work out and start getting healthier together. They should write prescriptions that say you should go out and exercise, like, because as soon as you get a prescription, most people run and fill it, so they should write a prescription to go out and go in nature and go exercise.
Okay.
Good?
Yeah.